Welcome back, everybody, here to the CSGO Championship Series. I'm Toby1, joined by Sadakist, doing our final for our first group stage.
Yeah, and this is a big final. Best of 5, 2 teams with a history against each other, coaches, previous players.
Breeding, basically.
Yeah, and we're going to see 5 out of the 7 in the map pool. My expectations, I haven't seen them yet. They've already done them. We haven't seen them yet on the graphics. Is that we'll see Dust 2, and I'm expecting Overpass to go away from HellRaisers.
Do you really want to do predictions after what happened yesterday?
It's true. I'm not. Today was a little bit better. Today was a little bit more normal.
It was. Today was more standard.
By the way, I just want to point out that you can't escape Dota anywhere, even on stream, because you just tweeted HellRaisers Dota 2 team.
I know.
Not the CS team.
I'm sorry. They default as #1 for me.
Oh,
yeah,
well.
but let's at least have a look back through what's been happening over the last few days. Of course, we've been casting from the semifinals onwards, as we did have HellRaisers game played out only just now. So HellRaisers, they're facing a potential 8 maps in a row. So it could be a very, very long night for these boys if they want to try and qualify themselves into the main group stage. While FlipSid was able to 2-0 out Mousesports yesterday, using some very uncommon maps,
comebacks,
as well as some great comebacks.
Yeah. Actually, I have to say,
the tournament so far, we've only had 2.
Yeah, and based on what I've seen typically out of Overpass, I've always said that I liked it more than Cobble in the previous version. The Cobble match I saw yesterday, by far better than any Overpass map I've seen. And maybe those changes were good. We also saw 2 teams
make
that like
Cobblestone
Cobble.
Normal. Is that what you're saying? Like
we saw 2 teams that like
screw
Cobble. That definitely
Overpass.
helped.
Just go Cobblestone.
I think Overpass, the A side, like we talked about, is still a little bit too cluttered. So
yeah.
But
teams might move away from it.
Yeah, and I fully expect to see Cobble in this map pool tonight.
Yeah.
Like we say.
Well, unless HR banned it out. Like, that'll be...
HR could have actually read into that and gone for that as their ban if they don't go for Overpass. I mean, they just played Overpass. Didn't go well for them. But they may help up for the fact that FlipSid don't play it as much either. But we'll take a look at both teams starting off on our FlipSid team, the team that's been waiting for this final to get underway.
It's been really amazing how these guys are performing. It's a heavy AWP lineup, World Edit, Simple. These guys have been absolutely amazing. They've even got their third one, which is Markelov. He's been taking up more of a B-side defense. He's always that floating defense man for the FlipSid lineup.
Yeah, and Blade's the guy that leads this whole team. In fact, Simple was offered a roster spot. Or, pardon me, World Edit. Simple already had a roster spot with HellRaisers. Yep. World Edit was offered a roster spot on HellRaisers. He turned it down to stay with Blade. And, of course, Simple and Markelov already played for them at one point. Bondix, your entry fragger.
How well has he been playing, too?
Oh, excellent. Yeah,
it's amazing how many of his shots were connecting.
Simple was the man of the match, both maps statistically that we saw for them as we take a look at HellRaisers. But, I mean, Bondix awesome as well. So it's Angel, the strat caller for HellRaisers, Flamey, and Adren, who have both played for FlipSid's previous iteration, DAT Gaming, and then it's Kutcher and Dosia, and we just saw them all play. Kutcher's your main opper. Dosia loves to lurk and get aggressive on defense.
I love the way Kutcher also started off over on Dust 2. So aggressive with the AWP. It was HellRaisers actually coming out and saying, we're willing to fight you right in front of your eyes. Like, this is something you just have to expect from us. So yeah. I'm liking that, and I'm hoping they play that way up against FlipSid, not just the passive D.
And here's the wild card. I mean, FlipSid's Simple has been absolutely incredible. Last night at Mirage, he was huge in that comeback for them. In fact, matching what Nico did and actually surpassing him toward the end of the match. I say he's a wild card for a reason. When he fits into a team, he's young. He's 17. He plays very aggressive, and sometimes he's hard to contain. Blade's done a very, very, very good job of keeping him in check and allowing him to work well with his teammates. He can't play ESL Majors. They actually have Davcost, who's their backup in those situations. So at Katowice, we'll see Davcost, and it's
kind of a shame considering how well Simple has been playing.
It's an interesting contrast. I actually talked with FlipSid as we take a look at HellRaisers. Flamey's been their top player, but it's an interesting contrast because Blade actually says that yes, Simple's probably more skilled. Davcost listens very well, so they can execute some different plays with him. But there it is. Flamey's been the guy that's leading the way so far for HellRaisers, as we just saw in the previous matches. 4 matches under his belt over the entire course of the bracket. Kills 60. That's pretty remarkable. And a 1.4 KD.
How's he have 4?
The headshot, 1.4, I said KD.
I don't know. The match has played 4.
Oh, because the previous bracket that we didn't get to cast, the first round of the bracket that we
we
saw.
actually have that counting now.
But
okay.
I mean, the big one for me, though, was look at his headshot percentage. 50% headshots. I mean, that's absolutely
on target,
ludicrous.
Man. On target.
So... and it comes down, again, these two teams are quite evenly matched. I think FlipSid's been playing a lot more organized, and they're both qualified for ESL. They're both going to be there. I think, like I said, I think FlipSide's a little more organized. It's very much a CT team versus a T team right now. And if FlipSide can get a hold of their CT side, which they've had a lot of trouble with, they could do an absolutely incredible job against them.
Let's have a look at this. I want to see this.
HellRaisers are wise to it.
The map selection. So Cobblestone's removed, and Dust 2, which you were calling out during our previous map, is also being removed. They do not want to have that one over on HellRaisers.
Yeah, so FlipSide's ban is predictable, and you actually guessed right that HellRaisers know where they know these teams so well, know that Cobblestone's liked, so they'll leave Overpass in. I thought they might get it. In fact, Overpass got left to fifth.
Nuke is actually our second in this one. So we start with Inferno. That was the first pick up by HellRaisers. FlipSide then said we want second map to be Nuke. Third map will be Cache, and then we have Mirage. Last one, if required, will be Overpass.
I think this actually has a chance of going 5 maps. If you look at Inferno, Inferno's the decider for me. Inferno, HellRaisers actually, they lost to NIP on it. I'm just looking back. They lost NIP on it, but they took down Envious on it, and the NIP game was close. They've actually had reasonably good success on it overall, but then FlipSide, Simple dropped 50 kills against Virtus Pro the last time they played it. They lost the series in that 2-1. Both these teams have had good performances here, and I mean, it comes down to that. Once we go to Nuke, it's a CT-sided map. Sure, I think you've got HellRaisers as a CT team, but with the way the FlipSide plays T, they're going to pick up more rounds than anticipated, and HellRaisers haven't been organized on their attacking side, so I think that has to go the way of FlipSide. And then from there, I mean, we go back and forth. Mirage, obviously, FlipSide had an incredible comeback on it. HellRaisers just had a reasonable game on it themselves, coming back on the CT side once they got to play defense. Overpass is our decider.
Overpass,
I don't think as well.
I don't think HellRaiser want to get anywhere near Overpass.
No.
They need to wrap it up before that. It was like you see the game earlier tonight. They just didn't look like they had much of a clue about exactly what they wanted to achieve. It was very disorganized.
And the other thing too is that Cache. I mean, Cache could also mean that HellRaisers wrap it up early if it comes to that, because Cache, they actually beat when Nip was trying with Delpan. They actually beat Nip on it, and it plays, in my opinion, although not quite as open to pugging and the way that mid works on Dust, it is very linear in that you've got a mid that needs control. You've got 2 bomb sites that are very distinctive. They're on opposite corners of the map. The difference from it and Dust 2 are simply the executions. You need to get those smokes and flashes down. That favors FlipSide a little bit more than Dust, but they're still comparable maps, and HellRaisers is very efficient on it. I mean, either this goes 4 for HellRaisers or it goes 5 for FlipSide. That's my prediction.
See, I'm sitting on the other side, and as my completely biased opinion is, I'm actually going to say it's going to be a 3-0 for FlipSide. If
it's a 3-0, I'll be very, very impressed. It is possible. I think Nuke is theirs. I mean, it's Inferno's a wild card. You could see them up 2-0. But I mean, it's
for me. The only reason why, the only way I'm judging my call right now is just basically based on what we saw from FlipSide yesterday, and what we see from HR today. And for me, I feel like FlipSide functioned better as a team, and I think they've got a little bit more diversity in their
and again, it comes down to which HellRaisers is going to show up. But that said, we're going to find out in just a minute. Don't forget, you can hit that subscribe button. That's active now. Doing so doesn't just give you, sub chat and crazy emotes. It also contributes directly. It does give you those, which is awesome. But it also gives you. It adds to the prize pool and gives you a chance to support your favorite teams, which then will contribute to that total 110 originally. If it hits $125,000, we'll see one-on-ones at DreamHack Bucharest based on community vote. And if it hits $150,000, we'll also see those and an all-star game. So great way to support the community, great way to support Counter-Strike. And, of course, we are thanking you for doing so exactly by giving you away the factory new Flip Knife Fade that we'll give away at the end of the night. So you won't want to miss that.
If you get it, self-title it The Bling.
You can sign it for them, Toby. It could be the first ever signed skin by Toby Wan.
Really?
Yeah, you just you get a name tag, you just type in Toby Wan and then give it to them. Yeah.
See, I have those in Dota 2.
Yeah, you can do that in this too.
But you buy them in Dota 2.
Oh, we got a new emote too? Is that what I'm seeing? Is that what someone's saying?
We have more emotes? Well, there's like a crap ton of emotes which are attached to the channel. So enjoy them.
Oh, it's replay, of course, with all the replay tech. No, production's been excellent. So,
yeah, huge shout out to the production value. It's quality. We don't have to do jack. Like, we just have to talk to you.
We're just talking heads. It's perfect. That's the way I like it.
Wow. Good band.
So, Inferno's actually... I did say that HellRaisers has played well on it. FlipSide does feel very confident. They do consider it, along with Cobble, as one of their better maps. They usually pick up 6 to 7 T rounds. If that's the case, if they can hit that number against HellRaisers, then they should be able to take the map, and that's why I think HellRaisers need to win this knife round and get a great start. If it doesn't go their way, yeah, you're right, they probably could take Nuke. We could see them at 2-0. Mirage they played well on last night, but it was only due to an absolutely outstanding comeback.
Oh, yeah.
I mean,
it was a crazy overtime as well.
You're close enough that 3-0 is possible, but it's also a far cry. I mean, if it doesn't go, the early maps do give FlipSide a chance. The last 2 maps really don't, especially, I would say, as we get on to Cash. I can't see that being overly impressive for them, just with their play style. And then, of course, Overpass is a wash and a toss-up between these two teams. They both have equally as little experience on it. So, either way, I think we're going to see good Counter-Strike the whole way through.
I'm looking forward to some quality play. So, yeah, we're just waiting for the guys to finally finish their warm-up, be very, very ready. I know these teams are going to want to move through the maps very, very quickly tonight as well, as we're already getting pretty late into the evening, and the boys will not want to be up until the early hours of the morning.
No, of course. So people are asking in chat, what happens when you win this game? Well, the winner of this game goes through to actually play in the CS Championship Series, and the loser stays home. They are not invited in. Of course, the teams that are already there, Nip, Fnatic, Team Solo, Mid, Na'Vi, all the great guys up there, Virtus Pro. And the winner of this, along with our bracket that will start tomorrow, the winner of that bracket will be the 8th team.
I'm actually... Yeah, I'm not going to find it quickly. I was looking for our link. Don't worry, if you're watching in the Twitch chat, follow the links below in the description. And then you can go to csgoseries.com. That's the place where you can find all the information about the league, as well as the live stream if you want to watch from that. And you can see also the schedule we have listed in directly below the live stream. So you can follow everything you need right over there. I'll let you know the teams as well for the main event.
Knife round's underway now as well.
Yay!
So we'll see how this goes. And like I say, I think HellRaisers need to start out on the CT side to make the best of this map.
We'll see who gets to make the choice, as Markelov gets to be the first man into the mix. And we just let everyone just murder each other in the nicest way possible. So it looks like it's going to be a HellRaisers knife round win. So FlipSide, unless there is something amazing that World Edit can pull off right now, it should be a HellRaisers over on CT to start.
Oh, he gets one. And they are actually both on one swipe, so if he can continue to divide them, this would be a great start for World Edit. Not going to happen. Adren's found him. Carrying a bit too strong.
Yeah, so HellRaisers, we'll get ourselves a switch, and yep, there it is. Angel says we'll swap it over. So HellRaisers will have the defense to start. What type of defense are we actually wanting from HellRaisers in this? Are you wanting to have more commitment to the B, or do you actually think it's more worth to have 4 players looking towards A?
I mean, the only time you're really going to see an early B is if the op has a spawn on that side and he wants to go for that banana pick. What I think we should see is I prefer, although Crims is very good at it for Fnatic of playing a passive B and giving up more position on banana, that allows Fnatic to rotate down middle by sucking them up in sort of further forward and closing them off and trapping them. Fnatic's really the only team that's that efficient at it. I think we need to see them play sort of more like NIP, where they're going to smoke off on car, cover off, or even down further than that on banana if possible, if they get there quick enough. And they're going to try and hold the top of banana, keep them out further. That way, if they are all there and they are committing to banana, they have more time to call for that lurking rotator that plays on the arch side to get back over. I assume, I'm not sure, I'm assuming that's going to be Adren in this position, but I'm not sure where he's been playing with them as of late. Regardless, it'll be more of a 3-2 split. A side, you're gonna have your standard op pick down middle. The only variation there will be how aggressive they want to play on apartments, as opposed to if they're gonna fall back and hold off pit and play it directly with a crossfire at top middle, or whether or not they go into boiler and try and hold off alt.
All right.
So, but the big key for me is how they play banana, because that changes map control, that changes map position. If they can hold off that banana and be effective at limiting how much control FlipSide can get, then they give themselves a reasonable chance.
All right, so we're just waiting for FlipSide to be ready. The players are still warming themselves up. Obviously, HellRaisers are going to be pretty ready to start this game anyway. As Angel's already said, he's good, ready to go. And there we go. Blade's going to say the boys are ready. Their fingers are warmed up. And we'll get ourselves underway for the best of 5, a grand final. The winner will go through into the main group stage to qualify into DreamHack Bucharest, where only 4 teams out of all of these amazing teams which are playing in the CSGO Championship Series will be able to qualify for and compete for the huge amount of prize money as well. So pistol round, let's get it underway. And our first map of the series on Inferno.
So out of spawn, I'm just watching how this pistol is going to happen. They are going to drop that bomb down, so they aren't going to go for a straight pistol rush like you might expect. They're going to have to go back for it at some point in time.
Well, looking for the peaks instead. Angel's so far up on that mid.
It's 4 over at A, by the way, on the defensive side, as Flamey and Dosia have already pushed up through these apartments, and they might catch off Markelov quite quickly, although he's coming around. The exchange is happening. Meanwhile, Simple's come out from Boiler. They've already pushed past it, so they may lose one down mid, but they've got control of this A site. World Edit and Bondic, though, are still over at Banana because they've only found 1 pick at A. They know it's a stack. They're falling back to it, and it's actually going to trap them because Dosia's just taken down Simple, so it's still 2-on-2. Bondic's not sure exactly what to do. He's dropped that bomb back down, and it seems a little bit lackluster and confusing right now for FlipSid.
Yeah, they wanted to try and directly push up through B, but Adram was able to pick up a smoke at the very, very start. So all he had to do was get the first pick off, and the smoke just obscured all of their vision. But with the cover of the smoke, we have seen FlipSid be able to breach in towards that B site. So World Edit is looking very, very close. But you can see Adram just on the other side. He brings him down on top of the truck.
Watch Dosia, though. He's coming up from Banana, so they've gone for this flank play behind.
He's a little bit too late to come up, though. Like World Edit, he gets back behind the spools. And Flamey is, in fact, right behind the T. So World Edit gets the opening frag, which means we're on 2v1. Flamey is the last one to clutch this for them as he comes and he's looking at the back of the site over towards spools right now. But they're so far over. In fact, they're flanking. You've got Bondic. He's looking down the line towards the fountain area. In fact, Flamey's coming out to try and kill him off and then maybe look for the plant, but cannot do so. So Bondic, he'll take the kill. Flamey drops down, and FlipSid will get the opening round. Welcome to money. And
that all came down to Bondic being able to secure that B site because I thought they misread that. It was 4 over at A. They got 1 kill. They figured there'd be 2 there. They started to fall off of Banana. Simple dropped down. He did a good job of getting in there and getting the 2 kills. But as soon as he dropped down, it just seemed like they were a little bit confused on what to do, and Bondic held his ground. He got up B, and that allowed them to get that plant. So FlipSid with an early start, and being such a T-sided team, this is just exactly what they want. 6 rounds, absolutely not out of the question for them now.
Looks like FlipSid are going to be committing quite heavily towards B. Blade's trying to push up. In fact, he's already managed to get himself up towards the sandbags. But he's been slowed up by the Molotov. Saw 1 back at spools, went for a couple of spams with the UMP. Markelov, he loves doing this on the first buy round for the Ts. Picks up the Uzi and pushes up as far as he possibly can. Just holds the line. All he's looking to do is just try and restrict the zone of the CTs. But he's trying to attempt to take apartments. Dosia defends 1. Now the Uzi goes to work. Gets the revenge kill. Looks for the second in apartments, but Kusha is able to bring him down. Took considerable damage for it, and the Ts have brought the bomb straight up through mid. It's 4 CTs up against 2 Ts right now. Good luck breaching that bomb. There are a couple of CTs defending. Make that 1 CT, no longer a couple. Only a solo, man. Are they going back through archers? Bondic? Yeah, Adram. 1 bullet's all it's going to take. Nothing but head. As World Edit, he goes for the next one, using the statue, and there's no way that Adram can get the clear shot. Too many bullets to battle up against. So there's 1 on B, 1 on A, and World Edit wants to plant on B, assuming that they're over on A. He's moving in so aggressively. And through construction is where that last defender is. Starting the plant, he's not looking left. He won't see him coming out. Now he does, switching over towards the AK. The flank is coming up through Nana. So HellRaisers will be able to pincer him in, but World Edit needs to get the early shot, and he won't get it. Angel wraps him up. On the flip side, they did at least get the bomb plant down, but that wasn't really the best first buy round they were looking for.
Well, and I think he was a little bit worried that was exactly going to be the case, is if he didn't get the bomb down at all, they get nothing for it. So he's going to go ahead and do that. They'll hold off on the defuse for just a second longer because
Flamey wants to try and find a weapon.
Yeah, he wants to find it. Well, at least a better weapon than the Galil. Unfortunately, he won't get one because they're too far away. So nonetheless, they do get 2 guns. A great eco. So I called that 6 was going to be easy, but an eco is exactly the way to answer that. Now it's pretty much a reset. They'll go for guns on CT, unquestionably. They won't get any WP out just yet for Kucher. He's going to go for the FAMAS.
Well, they just try and hold in close. You don't need the AWP at the moment when you've got FlipSid only walking around with pistols. And they've only got 1 Tech 9 up their sleeve.
Again, Dosia is getting so aggressive defensively. Rushed immediately into Boiler. Didn't even think twice about the cross, knowing they were going to be on pistols. Flamey's found 1. Dosia, there's the other. Bondic down, and they still know there's more inside alt mid, but Markelov, great shot in response. At least gets one to his name. He's got 15 HP. It's down to a 3-on-3 because Kutcher's dropping now as well to that Tech 9.
This is a good eco.
It is a good eco. They haven't secured guns, though, and they've lost a lot of blood in the process. As Flamey looks to be the next to follow into the footsteps of the boiler room, but watch out, there's a player jumping up to try and get in, and I'm surprisingly didn't hear him. Although he will get Blade.
Wildet's got to get up to that bomb, but he's not going to get anywhere up there. Angel just sitting at the top mid. Flamey making a little bit of sound, so Markelov can at least know he's there. Turns so he doesn't get flashed, but at the same time, he's half shot in the back, half shot in the front. And that's going to be the second round going the way of HellRaisers, as this is the Dossier play. Up on top, getting peppered from a long way, and then just flicks over and gets the perfect shot on the Bondic, who was just sitting up on the balcony. Hanging off the rails. There's your first AWP coming up. So
yep,
World Edit's going to be the first AWPer.
So good response. That comes off the back of that bomb plant on the eco round, because otherwise they wouldn't have been able to afford this, at least the AWP in this round.
Markelov, he's able to actually breach apartments this time around. He's going to back up. They look for the advantage. World Edit, he was up a very long way, just sitting on top of the wooden logs, hoping that pick up half nana to the top of it. A lot of noise coming out here from FlipSid. They're trying to actually, it almost feels like they're trying to bait HellRaisers to have a peek when they know their positions. Simple again is going to jump in through the window side. Dossier, bit of an unusual position, sitting on the back of the truck, trying to watch in through the front, but it's going to be Flamey's actually the first one to get the kill. Seeing more at the Pergola area. So one down for either side. But the smoke's coming up towards mid. And Blade is pushing up. He smokes over towards the Archers area. So Kutcher already starts to spam, but he's got Flamey. 1, 2, looking for the third to come out through the stairway of apartments. Is able to claim him. And we're sitting on the edge of it, and there it is. It's the full ace for Flamey. And he gets the AWP as well from World Edit. Very, very successful round.
Yeah, the first ace that we've seen over the course of the 2 days, and Flamey gets them all. That smoke covered off Arch very well. It allowed them to get up, but they had no answers. Flamey just danced around the pole.
It's kind of funny, too. When FlipSid pushed up, they looked towards the smoke where they couldn't see anything, as opposed to the one side where there was no vision. There was no obstruction.
The whole point of the smoke on that side of the corner is to cover off and take it from truck side, and they just failed to capitalize. And now look at them. They're running up Banana. It's all going to fall apart because Adren's got one and burns the second alive. Cooking marshmallows to put on top of this banana s'more, and now Simple's going to get trapped up as well.
Behind. They're coming from behind. And that is exactly where Dossier is out to pick up 1, 2. Can't get the third, but it's only a one-player loss for HellRaisers. And FlipSid, yeah, that probably couldn't have got any worse. That's a sandwich, and the meat was off.
And that's more of a Fnatic style. That was a little different. Obviously, it was an eco, so they all rushed in there hoping to push through. But once you get that deep in Banana and you commit that early, if your A players are aware at all, they're going to come down and limit your positioning to come back, even just by getting in Boiler and covering the cross at the top of alt mid. So taking full advantage of the map control there. But we do see Rifles back out. World Edit back to the AWP. We'll see if he can find a good effect this time as they head up toward Banana. And Blade's getting very aggressive, going for the entries this time. And actually spams away, catches out Kutcher. So
but there's 3.
There is 3. They've stacked over on the A site, or pardon me, the B site. And Angel's got the first of which. That's Blade trying to come through. And World Edit feels discouraged as he's down to 23, so he'll fall back, and they want to try and get into A. Simple's found his way out Boiler as he's done in the first round, but he's got to watch out from balcony because Dosia's there, and the player in apartment, who was Markelov, does nothing to support him.
Well, Edit's not in a great position either. Look at his life points. He's trying to find a pickoff where he's only got 23 life to his name. So with this AWP, FlipSid are in a position where it's still 3v4, but there's one of them being seriously harmed. So World Edit, look for the peak, looks at balcony, but that's not where he is. He dropped down towards the truck area. Flamey's there to support, and there goes World Edit. Dossier will take the kill on that one. And it's a 4v2 Markelov and Bondic. The last one's left alive. They do actually have a decent flank, though. Up through Arch, now almost at Library. That's Markelov coming in. He's going to see the one down in pit, but Dossier brings him down. Last balcony, and that's going to be a double for Dossier.
And Bondic was waiting for Markelov to find that pick, because where he was pinched, he had to either find the pick in the back of the pit, which obviously he did not do, or at very least get inside the site and drop down Flamey. With him dropping, there was nothing Bondic could do. So good control, good hold from HellRaisers. 5-1. They're limiting a T-sided team on the T side. They say they get 6 to 7 rounds on average, and statistically they have. They're far from that right now. Only the pistol to their name.
Yeah. You take that first round. I thought everything was going to go for FlipSid, and my prediction would be correct. But right now, HellRaisers, they are holding so solid. The FlipSid just cannot find an opening. World Edit's going to, well, I don't know how he's meant to really open one up with just the Galil and the 4 AKs behind him. And these fires, it's just molly after molly, holding him back. With flashes as well, at least FlipSid managed to get themselves up into apartment, at least the stairs part of it. But with Blade, there's the finally the kill over on Dosia, with Markelov helping out, but Kucha with the AWP on top of the bomb site. Blade's got 6 life points, not much to work with, so he lets World Edit go in first. They look for the opening, but he actually ends up getting both of them. Angel coming from the library, looking for the last one over at Cubby, and he's going to get it as well. He did lose a teammate there, Adrian, who came out of the Archers. But it's still HellRaisers holding that advantage, and as you can see on the screen, so much money in the bank for HellRaisers.
Yeah, I mean, that's just what happens when you get 6 rounds in a row. I mean, FlipSid should have had that round. They came around, they had both sides secured, it seemed, but they just couldn't close out on the site. And now they're back to pistols again. It's just falling apart. FlipSid not looking like the team we saw last night. Try and make something out of these pistols right now. They haven't gone fully into banana like they did last time, and they do get one out of it. That's Angel down, but Adren's going to avenge his teammate, so they'll take a 2-man advantage.
What they wanted was the pick, and then the ability to just try and get the distraction pick then over towards A. And they're able to get it. So 2 players going down for HellRaisers. They won't be able to save any of these guns. This is just Markelov who's left alive. He does have the bomb over on A, so he has that to play with, but jumps down inside the pit. Did he pick up the weapons? He's still just walking around with only the P250. I think it's only the P250. He knows one's there. Just needs a small little peek. And there it is. But he can't get the shot off. In fact, he's going to get tagged up and eventually just rifled to death. The single shot.
So now back to guns. FlipSid running out of time. They want to get 6 rounds. They can only lose 1 more. 2 more, rather, if I do my math correctly. Full money bonus in effect. That's not even the priority right now. They do have full nades out off the back of that save, and they'll let it back on the AWP. He's yet to really find much. He's got 5 kills, but obviously not enough. Dosia's up to 12, 9 for Flamey on the opposing side.
And so smart there from HellRaisers with their nades. They put the Molotov a lot deeper. So,
yeah, I mean,
so there wasn't space for Waller to come up and get the pick with the AWP.
And look at how much presence Adren's been able to establish now. He's all the way down below the pillars. This allows Angel to rotate back over to A because Adren's going to have lots of time to call what's going on at Banana. So now they can stack up on the A site, and that's perfect because FlipSid are heading in that direction. We'll see if they walk into this trap or not. They've got smokes off on the left by Angel, and Flamey's the person inside apartments. This time it's not Dosia. And look at this. He's going to flash it out. He actually drops back down. This is where he got the ace from. He couldn't find the first shot, though, as Markelov did pop out. That flash had everybody blind. And they know where they are. They're just collecting and grouping upon them. Running out of time, 37 seconds, and still no kills. Very little bloodshed. Finally, they try and commit. It's Dosia in the pit who's going to come under threat. He's going to get pushed back. They flashed and smoked, but they're not taking advantage of this. They've got themselves truck side, and they still won't push to the site. I'm not sure what they're doing.
22 seconds. They have to go. There is no choice here. Bondik finally is up on top of the site. He gets the opening frag over on Kucha. There's still the one down in the pit, and they need to bring him down. And where is he? There, finally. Blade's the one to get, in fact, 2 down there with Dosia as well as Flamey. Angel's going to rotate through Archers. Adren's only now just reached the CT spawn. And FlipSid, it may have taken a while, but they do it right.
Yeah, absolutely. Not a second too soon. If they had waited even 3 more seconds when I was yelling at them there, the smokes would have been gone. They wouldn't have taken advantage of it, but Bondik found that kill. That was important.
Oh,
Adren's looking for exits, though. There's 2, and this hurts because money bonus is about to be reset. Losing every gun is absolutely going to be detrimental. And then with 2 down, the CTs will actually still be able to get better rifles on the board.
And with 2 M4s to defend, at least World Edit was able to hold on to his AWP in this case. And FlipSid, more importantly, get a round up for the T's here on Inferno. So 2-7 on the board. Still HellRaisers with a distinct advantage. FlipSid will need another round like that if they're going to try and level it up as far as money. So here they run. 2 to B, 3 to A. FlipSid, they just throw 1 up the Nana. But again, Adren with those Molotovs. He just makes sure there's no quick push that FlipSid is capable of achieving without taking a huge amount of damage.
I mean, look at the map control they have new. Not only Banana, but Flamey's up inside Boiler. They can't even push there. They're just not getting early presence whatsoever. They have to find a way to breach that deep Banana smoke, whether with a flash or a counter Molotov or anything at all. Because look how limited they are. They're confined strictly to alt mid and mid right now.
Can't believe Adren's able to get to such a position. Markelov also can't get through. They keep putting everything on fire against him. He also copped a nade to the face. That's why he's taken 18 points of damage. Has now walled at it. He's waiting for the flankers to arrive. And who's going to get the first shot off? In between the pillars, he sees it, and that's Kucha going down. So the opening has been made on the B. There's only one over there. And FlipSid, the bomb is still at the bottom part of mid. But Blade, he makes an opening up through mid. Up at mid T. But FlipSid will commit to the B site. So Adren, the one man, he smokes up, so at least he has the vision advantage here. Because he does not have the number advantage at all. In fact, he's moving out of the site, further back up towards truck. And here comes your flashes. Here comes your smoke. So he can't see anything. He's given the site to FlipSid. Like, he's actually backed up so far, they're giving the full site over. And Adren, in fact, will still get picked off back over on the runway.
Finally, they've got something to work with as Flamey and Dosia look like they're just going to sit back and enjoy their conversation together. Because, surprisingly, they only have $2,500 and $2,800 respectively after losing only one round. So, I mean, if we look back, they've been escaping with 2 to 3 players every round. Unfortunately, a lot of the deaths are accumulated on Dosia. He's got the most of anyone, so his wallet isn't quite as deep. Fortunately, he's had the most amount of frags to compensate for it. There's another one to his name. That's simple to drop. But it's going to be 7-3.
I don't want to lose that anymore here.
Could do something for FlipSid. As we're about to play into our 11th round. I mean, 1 or 2 more, and it's ideally 2 would be very, very workable. But again, their CT side has been struggling as of late.
Look at all the money from HellRaisers. They're being so tight with it all. There's still a little bit of extra cash sitting over on Flamey as well as Dosia. But if they lose this round, it's going to be even almost a semi-buy. They just don't, well, they won't have enough. And again, these Molotovs, flashes, they stop the push up through B. FlipSid probably thought that after a couple of rounds, maybe these things would stop being thrown at them. But they haven't taken, well, they're taking a little bit of damage on Bondic. And they're definitely committing towards Banana. Simple looking for the pick-off over on Boiler, but he's not going to find the opening for that one. Now Walt edit. Molly over the top. He's looking for the little jump peek. To use back in Adren's taking the higher position. Should be able to get at least 1 pick on this one before he will be brought down if FlipSid do wish to push for this. And it looks like FlipSid won't fully commit. Yeah, they're backing up, but HellRaisers already moved their floater back over to Archers.
Well, the good news is at least they got themselves Banana to work with and forced them back so deep. B becomes an option, but they're still grouping for this A. Dosia's there. Flamey's forced out, so Apartments is actually a little bit more exposed. Flamey's holding it from that off angle, and if they catch onto that before Dosia gets all the way back over, then they can exploit truck side. It looks like that's exactly what they want to do as the smokes come out, so Dosia's going to be the player in the hot shot. Gets that nade out, a little bit of damage dealt, and if he spams away correctly, he's holding this car angle. My goodness, I wish they put boxes there instead of a truck, but he's in the driver's seat. Nice shot through the window, and now it's Blade to drop. Finally, Bondic comes around, finds your exit, or pardon me, your answering kill. And Dosia gets spotted up through the edge of the statue. Up shot on him, but he still catches Bondic. He may also find the planter. Markelov's trying to hold off and defend his teammate. He does find Kutcher, so wise play by him. The retake's going to have to be sharp. It's 3 versus 2 in favor of the CTs, and that nade not deep enough into the pit. Dosia still survives. He spots up Simple, but Simple with the AWP is far too complex, as it turns out. Easy shot for him over top of the box. He's going to find another one up close. That's Angel, and FlipSid are finding themselves around they had no business being in, and Markelov takes down Adren 7-4. Still all to play for now.
That was beautifully played by Simple as well as Markelov. Markelov knew that all he had to do was just stop the pit guy from getting out of the pit and running over towards the site, and then Simple could do the rest. He could watch over towards the library, and then Markelov was also your backup in case Simple did go down. Unfortunately for Markelov, he just jumped over the truck, so he didn't really have the perfect angle for it. It still worked out at the end, and FlipSid now 4-7 on the board. Again, that's the mass amounts of fire just holding out the Banana area. Well edit back up on those logs. He's looking for that small little crevice pick. But he's not going to get the guy at the top of Nana as HellRaisers have backed themselves up pretty deep back inside the site. Angel is close, but not close enough for any kind of picks from Flip. Well, there's still 3 full defenders. Markelov, they're actually giving him over apartments. Dossi is still watching the long corridor of carpets. And man, Adrian and Angel both getting pickups. Flamey spotting one coming down now the stairs, so there goes Simple as well. And this T-push has kind of come to a very abrupt end.
Yeah, they had the banana presence. They were trying to get those picks to at least force rotations. They lost the battle, though. Both went down, and that pretty much shut every effort down because they did it without calling for a single rotator, so everyone can stay put at A. Bondik and Markelov get no map position out of it at all.
Their only hope right now is to basically take archers, but they're coming back through the patio side, so Flamey looking for him, takes out one. There is a second. The flashbang should give the cover to come over. Bondik starts the AK spam, out of bullets, has to switch over towards the pistol, and there's going to be more support coming in behind him, and yep, over through the archers. Kucha will wrap up Bondik and give HellRaisers another round here on CTs, going 8-4 into our 13th.
So there's your answer to that 3-round spread that FlipSid finally had going for them. They can still afford guns. World Edit's going to go right back to the AWP, full armor as well. Dosia actually not going for head armor, neither is Flamey, but it doesn't matter. You've got AKs and M4s. You get hit in the head, you're dead regardless. That nade does a little bit of damage, bounced a little bit past World Edit, who was trying to find that pick. But look at Blade, they caught him out. They tried to sucker them into Banana. Adren looked for that information, and he gets dropped as a result, but watch out at bench. There's still a player pushed up in the form of Flamey.
HellRaisers one so over-aggressive.
Oh, he's going to catch Markelov easy, and they line up as Simple comes around the corner. There's your bomb down. That's why mid-presence, if you can establish it, sometimes is the way to go, and Flamey gets another one as he comes around looking for another. There's a 4K for him. He's got 5 and 4, 9 and 2 rounds for that guy over the course of the first half. Still leading the way on 16 total.
And it's almost like the death of his teammate was well worth it, but the timing of FlipSid, you see there, they run up and Simple catching the end of it. Markelov tried to back out, and they just made it so easy for Flamey to finish the job. But they start again now. Kucha with the AWP, looking to control the mid, but this time from range, as FlipSid is all pistols. But well edit. Somehow we managed to get up on top of Adrian, on top of the sandbags, and the nade will be bringing him down as Dossier holds the apartments. So a lot of help. Very much needed there from the HellRaisers teammates, but they work it out. So FlipSid on pistol, only with 3. And they look towards the mid. It's a horrible crossfire. And Bondik just wants the round to be over. Runs himself in, just dies. And last round of the first half.
And they saved so they could buy for this one. The interesting thing about that save is, I mean, you can force for the last. Regardless, there's no consequence for it. I'm surprised they didn't buy the previous one, try and win it and get another one on the board, but they wanted to go for the full AKs. That's what they're going to do. World Edit back to the AWP. He leads the way. But, I mean, look at the kill distribution. We've got 18 for Flamey, 16 for Dosia. You look over at FlipSid, 6 and 7 are your high numbers. It's just not been being able to do anything. They're going to smoke and Molotov off on the bottom side of Banana again. They're not even going for this boost on the flower pot to try and see above it. Blade just wants to go right through it. Finally, they'll put out a counter smoke that will force them back, so they'll retake that map control. Now they've got to exploit it. They've yet to find picks at B. They've been sticking to the A site. If they could take down Adren and force a rotation, it would help them so much, but they just can't seem to find it.
The problem is those Molotovs. They're throwing 2 or 3 down onto Banana, and there's nowhere to go. Now Kucha gets the first shot off, switches back to the Deagle as he gets tagged by World Edit on the way out, catching out apartments as well. And FlipSid, they've opened him up. Dosia inside the pit. They saw the nade fly up from him, and can he get the pick off? Down towards the patio. World Edit will drop, as well as Markelov couldn't get through the apartments in time, stuck on the balcony. But FlipSid do have the bomb site. Bond's going to get that plant down nice and quick. They keep the flashes out, keeping HellRaisers locked over at the Archer's point. With a Molotov as well, they can't just move themselves up. With 2 FlipSid members sitting tight on the bomb site, it's difficult take for Adrian as well as Angel. Look for the flashes. Now they come out. Blade goes down. The spam keeps coming out as well from Blade. Can he get the opening? Bondik using the boxes. Protection from the pillar. Takes one. Can't get the second though. HellRaisers will secure the 15th round and enter the CT side with 11 rounds to 4. The advantage their way.
Yeah, and 11-4. I mean, you got to say FlipSid's in a bit of trouble right now. They rely on their T side heavily, and they're used to getting, like I said, 6 to 7 rounds on it. only 4 in the way they've been playing defensively. I can't see this going extremely well. More so if they lose this pistol round, they're going to be in a world of hurt.
Yeah, this is the flip side comeback from Mirage yesterday. They have to is basically required right now.
Yeah, and keep in mind they did that on their terrorist side too.
Yeah,
so
they did it when they could be aggressive, and that was all through mid control. But really, in that at the start, like it seemed to be the same story every single time. I almost felt like the record was broken, where it was just Molotov coming down. And when they realized they only had like SMGs or pistols, something like that, the Molotovs were very short, sitting up on the top of the Nana. And when you thought there was going to be the pickup from World Edit with the AWP, trying to find the pick by coming up on top of the logs, they Molotov deeper down so he couldn't actually get any of those early picks and give the advantage on B.
And the counter to that usually is just by default. As soon as you can get there, go for the boost on Flower Pot, spot over top of that smoke, and make sure at the very least they don't push down and establish that presence. They might keep you out of Banana, but you can't give up that gap between top and bottom where they were sitting outside. If they in the latter rounds, they actually started to do it. Blade almost had it one round. They counter-smoked it. He got through. The Molotov had already gone away. He got through and actually made sure they couldn't get pillars. The problem was they never took advantage of that map control. They just sat in Banana and made sure they weren't losing it. You need to find a pick at B. You need to force the rotation.
So the CTs never rotated.
Never. They never were forced to. And unfortunately for FlipSide, it never came to be. They just couldn't get those kills that were required. I mean, B doesn't have to be your place of attack. It has to be your place of distraction. It has to be what opens up the map for you. And they didn't take full control of that at all.
Which meant every time they pushed through apartments or up through mid, they were always caught in this heavy crossfire because you still had the Archers guy sitting there, as well as having the guy on patio, as well as having someone a little bit further back.
And in fact, it got worse than that at a few times because they pushed down in. Adren got down underneath those pillars.
Yeah.
And suddenly, boom, the rotator, the backside, Angel went out of B all the way around through CT, and now they have 4 at A because Adren can call quick enough to say, as long as he stays back to the Arch side, and just supports for front library. As soon as Adren says, hey, they're coming B, even if he goes down, they're going to pretty much meet at the top of Banana at the same time from that rotation position.
Yep.
So, I mean, it was great defensive play from HellRaisers to take full map control every chance they got. And, I mean, FlipSide did nothing to counter it.
And HellRaisers played so much better than I thought they're going to. And for me, FlipSide, like, I didn't see that same confidence in their game they displayed yesterday, where there was strategy, there was movement, which made a lot of sense. For this one, it was kind of like, Markelov, move up into apartments. If you get a pick off, we'll try and push up through this direction. And then it was we can probably breach in, but then they forced another battle on top of Pit. So it just felt like we achieved one little part, and then there's another block there from HellRaisers that they have to fight through. It just felt really difficult for FlipSide to find any level of momentum. And I thought they had it after that first round, when it's like, hey, we just won pistol round. Things are going to be fantastic. And then everything just fell apart when they try to push in again.
That's your other aspect of it. They won 3 gun rounds. If they had a 1 pistol not been ecoed, they could have won a 3-round spread there. Then you get the 6 rounds very quickly. That eco ultimately hurt them the most. But again, I still didn't like the way that they played the bottom of Banana. It may have been working for them in the past. I'll have to restudy sort of the way their tactics fully work nonstop on it. Hopefully we get to see them play that in the group stages at ESL. But I mean, they've got to have to come out with some brilliant CT play when they swap over here to make up for that lost ground. And don't forget, though, before we get there, sub button directly supports the prize pool for the league. And if we hit 125,000 off of that community support,
1v1 show
we will
matches.
see 1v1 show matches. And there's a few people I would like to see do a 1v1, that's for sure.
It'll be interesting. We have, every now and then we have 1v1s in Dota. And
yeah,
like
your mid or
yeah,
whatever.
Yeah,
one hero,
mid 1v1.
push tower.
How's a 1v1 work in Counter-Strike?
Just go at it. Go nuts. Usually they'll agree on a spot. They're not going to play the whole map. They'll say like
do you have like specific maps as well, or
Dust 2
like
seems to be really common for that. You could do Inferno mid, but Dust 2 is usually the one I've seen most one-on-ones happen on. But that said, we're getting back into it.
Yep, that we are. So let's get underway, and we'll see just how the momentum will roll at the very, very start. Markelov, and like this guy's going to buy up, so he's already starting off with the CZ auto. And HellRaisers, 2 smokes, 3 flashes, 1 nade. Where are they going to try and breach? There's a heavy stack from FlipSide over on the B side, while they've got 2 over on A. 1 just a little bit closer towards apartments, and the other one over at Archers. As Simple, looking for the lines. The nades are still flying up. He takes a large amount of damage, so he will back up. He is the only one carrying the armor for FlipSide. Needs to go deeper back towards the spools, waiting for them to push up into the site. They want them to come into B because that's where FlipSide have the extra armory.
And it's another spread play.
Kusha can't
Blade
find
and
that pick in
Bondic,
mid.
though, they're going to have to be sharp because even if they find these picks, yeah, they're forcing rotations, but they may discover that it becomes wide open. They've got that top mid control. They're actually going to rotate to Arch, so this will be a split on A. They're going to go right through Arch and back over to the B spawn, and Blade's not even aware of it. He's pushed too far out. He can hear them. He's going to have to make the call. Markelov gets aggressive. They'll try and respond it, and actually Blade and Bondic are going to go for a flank from the bottom side of Banana. That's the only call they really have. Markelov does find out that they're there, but Kutcher gets the kill. They still pour into the site. They're finally here. And meanwhile, though, as Angel does take down World Edit, and Simple short a drop, we still have Blade and Bondic coming up from the backside looking for that flank. They arrive, and it's Angel's gun that they find, the first welcoming party. Bondic only with one, so it looks like HellRaisers not only started off the match beautifully, they're also going to get the pistol in the second round, and this will put them at 12. CT side, unless you get an eco, you're saving for 3. You're going to see this go to 13 pretty quickly, chances are.
Quite possible. At the same time, this is how our first half started. With the T's being able to get up, they get the plant down, they take the first round. You do have the 5-7. Bondic's trying to save it, or at least get some kind of extra frags. He's only got 7 bullets left, and it's probably going to be enough. Dossier's pushing in and trying to get him, but he'll give his life over. So at least there was some extra coming in there for FlipSid at the end, but it's 12-4. It's going to be a pretty heavy ask to see them defend this one. They go for the scout again over on World Edit. 1 CC auto over on Markelov and a lot of smoke nades. All 5 smoke nades. They're going to try and play the vision game. But that means they need to lock him up over on Banana with just the smokes. And HellRaisers aren't playing their game.
World Edit's trying to find that pick. Kutcher's drop down. Oh, there it is. There's why the scout's effective on a second round. Beautiful headshot from World Edit.
Yeah, it's just locked in that little underpass. He's still looking for the cross. Dossier right next to him. He should be able to hear the fact that World Edit went back. He's going to smoke it slightly aggressively towards the mid-T. And where is he going? Is he actually feeling they're going to come over to B side? They're committing 3 players up here. It's either that or he's planning on a flank. But the push is coming to A. 3 players from HellRaisers looking for A. There's only 1 over on B. But the noise is being made by HellRaisers at the top of Banana, which is why FlipSid has still got the defenders up there. That's why they also plant the defensive smoke. But HellRaisers have played this beautifully. Bondic tagged up a little bit. And with a gunshot, is there any rotation? Is there even a push up through Nana? Another shot. Bondic taking damage from 2 players, but Blade takes out 1. And now they've got to rotate over. In fact, Markelov getting over-aggressive, going up Banana. But Adram was waiting for him. He gets a revenge kill with the Tech 9. Dossier, spray, pray, can't get around the pole. Switches over towards the pistol. And he's got enough bullets to basically hit absolutely... Now he finally kills off Simple. World Edit will finish him off with a quick snipe. And then first attack is a bomb. It doesn't go down. He gets both shots off with that scout in time. One last T will be dropped as he comes out of construction, and FlipSid hold the round.
So twice in a row we see a T-side pistol immediately countered with an eco on the CT side, and now FlipSid do have a chance to build them back into this. 12-5, looking 12-6. I'm not going to, I mean, I continue to call it that way. It's always going against me, but they're going to go double, actually, yeah, they are going to go double Meg 7s. And that means they'll play them up close. Markelov's going to have 1 in B. Simple's actually going to support him, so they're going to have both at B at top Banana. If they rush in, that's going to be a lot of damage, but they're not heading that direction right now. HellRaisers want to try and get up into A, and they're doing it quickly with these smokes. The Tech 9 push is absolutely on right now, and they're going to try and find Bondic. They've spotted him on the apartment park, the balcony, but he finds 2 with that from Oss. Simple, meanwhile, gets your alert player, an Angel. Flamey's trying to make damage. He's done so well in the early game on the first half. Now he's got 3, and he's looking for more. Finally, Simple silences him. Too close for comfort, though. 12-6, they split the difference.
But it is still a hold from FlipSid. It's still a hold from FlipSid. HellRaisers did a hell of a job. They knew they could rush him up. There was still the scout, too, so World Edit didn't buy up anything during that last round. That's why now is the full AWP coming into this one. And they can't believe he was even able to survive, calling out the thank you for the 40 points of life, that is. So we do actually have it's a commitment to A. The bomb has already been brought up through second mid. Well, there's 3 players left from HellRaisers over on the B site. FlipSid do have 2 solidly in on the B site. They're not playing any kind of aggression. As now, well, a very unusual position for Bondic. going to go into that graveyard area. He just holds the upper apartments from there. So HellRaisers one man down on a pistol round. And Dossier forced back out through mid with the molly. Are they coming up? The smoke's already at the top of Banana. But they are coming up through arches. They need a really quick pick here. If not, they're going to get flash smokes and everything else.
The interesting thing is that World Edit's not lurked back at all. They're still setting up for this crossfire at mid. Angel is there to at least keep him busy. This is your go time right now at B. They've got to push through because otherwise World Edit's going to be quickly over there.
Simple jumps down. He's got Markelov still on the front lines, but they get through one. And Markelov just trying to basically butcher FlipSid at the top of Banana. Could have finished the job, but World Edit has rotated over. T is looking for the AWP shot. Just shoulder peeking it out. And now with a flash, World Edit's going to go down. There is a revenge kill from Blade. As they move in, the plant is down, but Angel is going to be dropped. So they need to be able to save that AWP, but they'll also get the defuse. FlipSid hold.
And if World Edit hadn't done that battle with Angel, if he hadn't have been there and just held him up that little bit, that plant might not have even happened. And that's a bit of a win on an eco round. They can now get the money off that. And, I mean, Flamey's up to $6,300. The only one who was low was Kutcher. He's already bought out, down to $550 for him. And he's got a full arsenal of nades to work with. So that bomb plant definitely helped them out here to establish nades for execution. And look at this, 4 Molotovs. That might indicate to me that they want to try and bounce them off the skybox at B, but they're actually setting up for an alt mid take right now.
Yeah, Angel's looking for a little bit of spam down through that corridor. Can't find anybody, though. But up comes Dossier, short-range World Edit. AWP takes one. He's got support by Bondic, as Flamey did manage to get up through the hay bales. Up in a boiler, but unable to get any kind of extra pick off. And in fact, World Edit, oh, Flamey, this time he'll get him. The AWP shot, it looked good, but it looked late. So it looked like a lot of things, but it's still 12-7. Flamey looking to breach out. Blade just starting to spam through the smoke. He's got Bondic from the blue truck. Stopping Flamey's push. Let's look at that AWP in the opening. As, well, they're simple. Takes one, takes two. Save the AWP as well. It'll be in the hands of Bondic. And FlipSid still hold the line. HellRaisers not looking that impressive for money either. Not
at all. So we called FlipSid a T-sided team, but HellRaisers has been struggling all day that we've seen on T. It might even itself out. Back to the AKs again this time. 4 in a row lost.
So if they lose this one too, they could lose even more in a row and lose all momentum. Because they're basically flat broke. 250, 100 zeros. That's all you basically got over in the HellRaisers lineup. So this round has to work for them. FlipSid, they're holding deeper on the A site, keeping that cross going. So World Edit's looking for the first AWP pick of whoever pushes up through mid, and that is where HellRaisers is going. As you can see him on the X-ray, the smoke's come out. It's going to keep him pretty blind. And Flamey, they've already managed to take upper apartments. But getting down now, that's the challenge. Adren moving up. The Molotov comes in. Hard to push all the way up, but they still managed to succeed with that. Adren up towards the site. But Bondic again playing from this graveyard area. And they're going to try and pick him up, but there's enough CT defenders, or is it? No, there's not. Well, Edit Bondic, they'll drop. Simple. There's 3 players he's trying to kill from range with no cover to hide behind. And Markelov is the last one left alive with the M4 with no real way to counter HellRaisers, apart from maybe one exit frag.
Yeah, great smokes on pit to allow them to walk up truck that easily. Completely blinded off the backside of FlipSid, and that gave them the sight. They'll take the round. And you said it, they had to win this one, and they were right back to a save. This will give them 13. They only have to squeak out 3. It's entirely possible. And unfortunately, there's not a lot of money. And guys like World Edit and Bondic, I can't imagine we'll see an AWP come out, although Blade does have 61. He could drop one over. Markelov might be able to force out at least a FAMAS buy, so they could force out with 1 AWP if they wanted to. But then after that, they're broke, so they'll have to win this. Otherwise, they're going to be playing for essentially a save and then right back into match pointer and play for the overtime.
Man, the sacrifice which has been coming out from Bondic.
Yeah, they do just that. Blade did drop the AWP, so Simple's going to have it.
Yep.
And they actually managed to force out a second one. Wow, Markelov dropped that for World Edit.
That's such a heavy commitment. Such a heavy commitment. If they get the early picks, it's going to be all worth it. As 2 already up on Nana. In fact, up to the sandbags. Adren pushing up on Simple. Markelov staying in close. He's able to pick up both Adren as well as Angel as they try to push up through top Nana.
Problem is he's got no smoke. Actually, he does. I take it back. He Molotov first. He could smoke himself back to the site, but if he gets caught... Yeah, this is a really heavy rotation. Bondik does at least get Flamey. Finally, they smoke that off, and Markelov will fall to safety.
Blade's coming back over.
But look at A.
Yeah, it's Dossier as well as Kutcher. They've managed to get themselves up. Bondik sitting inside the smoke, looking for the first pickup down towards the apartment stairs. Unable to get it, though. But you are seeing Dossier now, 50% of his life points. But Markelov, it almost feels like he's just that hold back there. If anything goes wrong, sure, you can come out. But if not, save your weapon. Kutcher with that AWP. Trying to see if there's any kind of flank coming up through mid. It's over right now on CT on the bomb site. In fact, both Blade as well as Bondik are sitting on the A site, waiting for the AWP to come in close. They do have World Edit rotating over, so he's in Library. In fact, a little bit further back from Library. So very, very deep. Just waiting for that one person to push up, and there it is. Dossier's the first one. Kutcher gets the return kill, but he's going to lose his life. So they swap the FAMAS for the AWP. And FlipSid successfully defend and keep themselves in this game.
They were too slow to execute there. They had one man alone at A, and they wait forever. They try and smoke off on the pit like that, but they've already had all the rotators over at B, so they're only going to be Library side, and unfortunately it didn't work out at all for them that time. So back to pistols for them. We got Tech 9s and P250s, 2 and 3 respectively.
Well, last time they did that, HellRaisers just went for a full rush through apartments, and it looks like they're going to do the same thing again.
Yeah, and they don't have armor, though, to go with it, so you're not quite as powerful with the Tech 9 without it, especially with aim punch being such a dominant factor. Bondik's on the balcony. He'll be the first to see them, and it's actually going to be Blade that's down below the atrium or the patio, and he'll cover off the boiler side. They'll smoke off this door to at least come through, but Bondik's there. He's waiting for this.
I'm making you Australian bit by bit.
I'm just trying to make you feel better about your calls.
Thanks, man. Dossier already pushing up, and he's trying to get on top of this. Bondik still in a really nice position. Takes out one, looking for the second, now for the third. Has to switch to pistol, out of bullets in that M4, and he might even have to switch to knife at this point, but it is going to be 2-on-2. World Edit waiting for that T to rotate, and it gets him to. Angel will drop. It's World Edit and Markelov to defend. The bomb plant's going down. He can't get the instant pickle. Willie, which way does the T look? First flashbang, allowing Markelov to move up a little bit closer, and there it is from World Edit. A lot of patience. Dossier will get taken out, and that'll be a defense again. Going the way of FlipSid, and we go 13-10 in the rounds.
But they did get a plant, and they did get 3 kills, so they'll start to build some bank on that. They can fully buy in this round easily. And where they keep getting these kills against the counter-terrorists, I mean, sure, now they've just put 2 back-to-back rounds together. Look how broke they still are. 0 for Bondik after the buy, 50 for World Edit, 100 for Blade. It's still fragile. They're going to go for this default. Markelov's going to be the first to banana. No smokes there yet to hold them off. He tries to flash it out. Meanwhile, Simple's getting aggressive again over toward Boiler.
He's forced back by that Molotov. It was a perfect position, allowing him to not get picked off as they came up the stairs from at least the other side of the stairs in apartments. But they haven't really made any use of it, as already, well, it's rotated back. There's 2 sitting halfway up Nana, but they're not getting all the way up.
Oh,
and there it is from
Flamey.
Brought down Simple. So there's only 1 AWP left over on A. And so much noise over on that B side, or up mid. That's Dossier, in fact, that was doing that. Trying to keep FlipSid looking behind them.
Well, Simple may have had 50 kills against Virtus Pro on this map. He's limited to just 10 right now, and he's dropped twice in a row early on in these rounds. He's trying to find these aggressive picks. Obviously, we saw him get Molotov'd out, but still holding that apartment aggressively. Caught again, and this thins out the defense massively. They'll still have 2 over at B, but it's only a fake right now. It's only a sell as Adren and Angel want to go in. Adren's got the first. They'll continue around the corner. Blade's going to force to be fall back into the cubby. He does get them on the second box, and he actually gets them both. But again, this is just the sales, and there's no salesman left. They're all dropped down. Dozia finally gets a kill for the HellRaisers side as World Edit will drop down, and they'll smoke off front Library. That'll allow the bomb plant. So 2-on-2 post-plant situation. And Bondik's got to buy some time because Blade's not quite there yet.
Hey, he's arriving, though. Now coming through the archway. So it's his job to try and find that pick-off. But where are the attacks going to come from? You've currently got 1 coming up through the patio, 1 coming up just in front of Library over towards the archers. Akucha sitting very tight inside the pit. Dossier as well. Nice little crossfire available for them, and Dossier takes care of both Blade as well as Bondik. They could not find the angle on HellRaisers, so HellRaisers finally getting themselves back on the board again, being 1 round away from that wonderful 15, which at least will get you a draw. And to get you a match point is the main thing.
So now, the question is how does FlipSid approach that situation? Because they've saved for this one, so they basically are playing for the tie. How do they possibly build their economy to sustain for that many rounds?
I think their only hope right now is to, well, I said the only hope right now is to win a pistol round, but they can't really do that, and they haven't planned to do that. They just pick us wherever they can, but that's why they're so aggressive. Bondic taking out one already.
And that smoke slows that rush down. That was well played by Blade to come back and support them. But he's given up Truck to do it, and that's where Angel is. Oh, good reaction shot. World ended on the backside of the arch. Tried to catch them off guard. Couldn't quite do it. Now Flamey's got another one to his name. What a game he's having. 26 for him. Only Dosia ahead at 28. And the bomb's going to go down, so they should sustain this match point. As Markelov with a CZ75.
There's not. He's looking for exits. That's all he can do. Yeah, you're in a safe round. Holding onto a CZ probably won't do much. That's all about the next round for them. If he stayed there a second longer, he would have had an opening. Oh, she's managed to pick up a gun too. That's nice. Holding the AK. I think he was also spotted. No defuse kit, so he can't get the quick and easy defuse. And Dosia will bring him down. So doesn't even get to save the gun. But the explosion didn't actually kill off anyone in the end. Just half a second away from the end of it. As we see merciless killing of chickens. Dosia has something against them.
I have something against them too.
Well, they reveal positions.
They do. That's exactly what it is. Shroud showed off that in a stream match the other night. He literally called it, I'll just sit here until the chicken runs and then I'll pre-fire, and he got a kill from it.
They're even just chasing him.
Back to default.
Like, well, what else? Get away from me, chicken. Swing the knife. Get away from me.
World Edit's not got an AWP to contend with. It's a FAMAS for him, so he'll play passive arch side, and it's Bondic and Blade. The Bees doubling up. Flamey and Dosia are there. The bomb's all the way back toward T-spawn, though, so right now they're playing for picks. They just want to establish what the defense are doing, and then they'll fall back and grab it.
Yeah, they give in the respect to the buy of FlipSid, even though it's not a full one. They do have two coming down through the mid in the apartments area. HellRaisers is very tight on A, and they are falling back from Banana. So the bomb will be picked up. And Wada is just going to leave a decoy behind. Try to make a little bit more noise over on the A side to deter the push-up from HellRaisers. But Wada realized they're coming up, well, at least one was coming up through mid. But it looks like HellRaisers actually brought the bomb back over towards the B side.
And Dosia is still selling this fake actually quite well, because look how deep Blade's gone into the site, and World Edit continues to push that direction. Finally, he realizes there's no one home. So they'll get on the rotation, but Adren is already entering with Flamey immediately behind him. He's down.
Nice.
Flamey's got to find the response. Simple's got one. They secure themselves some angles that are protected, but there it is. Flamey finally finds Simple, but look at him inside the smoke. He hasn't dropped just yet. Finally, Kutcher gets him. I thought for sure his days were numbered.
He was putting his head in the sand and just praying that smoke was covering him properly, but it's just on the outskirts of it. Looks like HellRaisers should be able to take out map number 1 up against FlipSid. Bondic is the only man to save the day. He gets through one, but doesn't get through the second, which means HellRaisers win the round and win map number 1. They take out Inferno.
Yeah, so far we're on pace. They picked Inferno. Like, again, I said, FlipSid does really like that map. Unfortunately, I'll give them credit. Their CT didn't look too bad. They got more rounds than I actually expected them to get, but they didn't find nearly enough T rounds. That eco in round number 2 really hurt their chances. They did get 3 gun rounds, but not quite enough. And again, the execution's not really there. So 1-0 HellRaisers. We head to Nuke second. Obviously CT sided, but again, FlipSid's the team that can counter those kind of maps.
Yeah. Yeah, because obviously being such a T aggressive lineup, they're going to be able to push out. Also, FlipSid, double op when you're playing on Nuke. Maybe not as great when you're trying to go in through the mid, but at least on the outside.
On CT side, for sure. Outside toward Garage, you can actually put the second one easily inside the ramp room.
But onto T, it's...
T's not nearly as effective. I've seen a few, actually, Shazam. There's just to take a peek at Dosia, he was our MVP. 30 kills for him, 17 deaths. And, I mean, just headshots, 53%. I mean, that speaks for itself.
Yeah.
That's utterly insane. He's known for his aim. He's known for playing quite slowly and trying. I mean, his CT side's very aggressive, but his T side very good at limiting himself into those one-on-one battles and getting the headshots. But back to my point on Nuke, the only player that's been actually really effective is in my opinion, there's two. There's JW and Shazam, and they have that same hybrid style of AWP. So in Nuke, you're very rarely going to run 2 ops. Yep. Those would be the only teams I could see them doing it with, because those guys are happy to go into lobby and play the up-close shots through HUT with that gun. That said, don't forget to hit the subscribe button to support the channel. Not only support the channel and support us, it actually supports the teams and the prize pot. Yep. We're also going to give away that flip knife fade factory new at the end of the night. We're going to take a short break, and we'll be right back with Game 2.